Hey everyone, Steve here. Welcome to Cosmic Laundry, where it pays to do things that take life in small loads. Recording now from Adair Canyon in southern Arizona. Just doing a check-in. Let's see what comes out. Connecting with intuition. World events. Versus inner events. It's putting together the inner and the outer. My personal experience. That's what this is. That's what this journey is about. It's about sharing experience with others that they might identify and learn something, spark something within you, take it with you, practical things in daily life. It is rainy season out here now. It's wet season in Arizona. You might hear some thunder in the distance. A little background ambiance. It's some overcast clouds. Um, you know, but yeah, probably famous last words. Probably will pass over. If not, this will be maybe shorter video, and we'll pick up after after the storm. But anyways, yeah, it's laundry day, so keeping it clean, keeping things up front on the table and connecting world events, inner events. Watched epic speech by Tucker Carlson last night, and just realizing just the thought control that I have been through, that I believe we all have been through. He calls it out, he brings it out, and it's like, oh my God, he's saying it. He's saying what I haven't had the courage to say my whole life, really. I mean, like directly say, I'm, someone, I'm keeping my mouth shut because what I'm about to say next, you're not gonna, that's not in your house rules, as it were. you know, Kind of funny. I work at a casino every day. I go in there. It's like, house rules. It's like they're very, very wealthy. It's a lush, kind of place, and seeing people. I don't see James Bond in there. I don't see him. In the tuxedo. With the fancy, glory. Um, you know. Stupendous, lush, whatever, environment. It's like, yeah, no, they're taken from they're taken from folks who are, um, not, not rich. Okay. Anyways, so to get it to taking advantage, really. People, the response, emotional response of the slot machines and everything. And anyways, so seeing that in a larger picture, my issues, codependency issues, being drawn towards narcissistic types to fulfill whatever inside of me. And that's been, I've been doing a lot of, lately, a lot of deep dive into my issues, deeper and deeper I go. And it's important for me to keep it light. I'm watching comedy on the side, loving Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr, and watching some dry bar comedy, Jeff Allen on there, just different different perspectives, people who can laugh at their life. It's just I don't know, the first time I heard, I don't know, a comedy, a person just like making fun of their defects, making fun of themselves. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? How can that person like do that? And just the realization that that's freedom, man. That's freedom. Expansion, consciousness. We meditate, we pray to connect with the higher power, and I've kind of caught myself like getting just really serious, like, oh my God, this is so serious. We're evolving and consciousness, and oh my God, um, and in the bigger picture, there's a bigger picture, universal. like I said before, galaxies upon galaxies, infinite universe, within, without. So, and listening to Eckhart Tolle recently. He quotes the Course in Miracles a lot. A Course in Miracles, which I've done like about half of it. I've done, I've gone through the daily lessons, and I found I was too intense for it. It just seemed just so intense. Like you try to you internalize the lesson, you go through it, you read it in the morning, you go throughout your day, and with that in mind, like you kind of just keep reflecting on that. You're reflecting on the lesson of the day, and and I just found my just like, oh my god, I gotta focus on this thing. And anyways, that's my growth coming out of that attitude of serious, serious, serious. This is so life or death or whatever, and that's the antithesis of for me, you know of progress, of spiritual progress. And going back to Tucker Carlson, his speech at the oh gosh, um, yeah, you can search it. Tucker Carlson's speech. He was fired from Fox News for basically for saying stuff about January 6th at the Capitol. Anyways, and it's just gotta laugh. And he laughs. He's like one of the commenters. That he's like a stand up comedian, delivering his message. I wish I could be that funny, but anyway, keeping it light. The focus. Like I basically, let's say, if I had to say, for me, the first thing that I do, is really what Eckhart Tolle teaches. Just very, very, just a very, very simple focus. I'm breathing right now. Just poignant alertness, and keeping it is poignant, alert, aware, conscious. And just keeping it light. Aware of sensations in the body, grounded in the body. Whatever sounds happening, cars going by, maybe a thing of thunder. And separating the identity, that identity of me, my story. The story that is just the situation. And my journey has been a lot of just me. What about me? And observing that, and the observer is getting is expanding, a little more as I progress in really it comes for me, surrendering that child that felt abused, doing my work in waking up to the abuse of the abuse that has been delivered by almost everybody. It's, oh my gosh, you know parents, siblings, friends, frenemies, right? Frenemies. Just it's like, oh, they didn't. It's not that they didn't love me; they couldn't. Okay, and being a compassionate, and I don't say that like, oh, I'm so compassionate, blah blah blah. It's like, trust me, you know, it's whatever, blessing and a curse to to be sensitive, to know how people feel, empathic, to pick that up. A big reason why I'm living outdoors in this environment is to nature heals me. Nature, just connecting with the natural world is healing. Anyways, body, mind, and spirit. So being in the moment and being conscious. Today I was gonna do things. Do I gotta I feel like I want to get out of the casino. I want to do some different job, different work, with better pay, talking with people, and so that's. But I will, just another step, another recording of getting outside of the me, And just, delivering a message of, the truth will set you free, but, just whoever said it, but, first it's gonna really piss you off. And, I heard that, you know, however long ago. Yeah, like, oh yeah, yeah, that's cute. But and then there are different levels of realization for me. This is, I'm just another level of realization. The gaslighting that's happened in is, I just months ago, heard these terms, the narcissistic terms, gaslighting and yeah, it's not going to come right now, but that's enough for now. When someone deliberately, like there's a movie that's where the term came from. There's a movie called Gaslighting, an old movie. You search it, look at it, whatever. But and I heard about this, and it's just, to me, it's just it's just like utter disbelief that anyone could do something and deny doing it to make you doubt yourself, to make you feel like you're insane, like, oh gosh, and that you're dependent on someone else for your very own sanity. Okay, so this is, I'm spreading the what a message about narcissism, narcissistic, psychopathy, psychopaths. They're, 1 in 20, and they're not serial killers. They're not, most of them, very, very few of them get really, really violent. Most of them are just, are like withdrawn, can't laugh at themselves, can't laugh at themselves, really don't laugh at much. Everything is just so, so serious and dire. They watch like one news channel. I'm thinking of someone right now, and they know it all, and they might actually say, yeah, no, I know the truth, I know better than, everyone else, I know the truth. And that's just, oh gosh, that's just so, I mean, red flag, red flag, red flags everywhere. Someone looks at you funny, and you might like, oh, something's wrong with me, what did I do, and you didn't do anything. You're being yourself, you're being creative, compassionate, just, you want everyone to get along. And it's so easy, that concept of just, hey, everyone, just, chill out, get along, say what you think, say what you feel, don't say it mean, say what you mean, but don't say it mean, and yeah. So just, yeah, attitude, and yeah, spiritual practice, breathing, being in the body, and just taking it, using the spaciousness. Eckhart Tolle, it's like spaciousness consciousness. He talks about the Buddha saying that, we empty ourselves, and Eckhart doesn't particularly like that. It's just, it has a kind of a negative feel to it. Just doesn't feel, empty yourself. You got to empty your cup, to rest for whatever else to fill it. So, anyways, and I needed to hear his, he's talk about spacious consciousness. I've always had it. Oh, you're spacey. You're too sensitive. You're spaced out. Where are you? Where are you right now? It's like, I'm spacing out. I'm seeking whatever, so, some escape from this, from a very real sense of being in a prison. And we'll go to the, concepts of the Matrix right now. Heard Keanu Reeves in an interview regarding the Matrix. He's speaking with some children, some teenage children, and Keanu is trying to explain his character, Neo, the character, being suspicious that, that his reality isn't real, and he's searching for like what's real, the real world. And the girl says, "Who cares if it's not real? You know, who cares if it's not real? Like, here we are anyways." And Keanu says, "I thought that was awesome, just so, so awesome." And I said, "Yeah, yes. However, it's, for me, the story, the message isn't about so much what's real, but how my mind has been controlled, manipulated, you know, turned into, self-doubt and, whatever negative stuff. How have I been affected by seeming things out there, people, places, things, whatever? How has that affected my creative ability? And it has affected my creative ability greatly. Um, and well, greatly, it's like, who knows, who knows? I could have been a contender, I could have been, if these people didn't tell me I was a piece of junk, and not directly, that's a big message, a covert, unbalanced people, narcissists, psychopaths, whatever. They're undercover. They're undercover. They're under, they have mastered manipulation with a look, like with a look, like looking at you and like you're nuts or whatever, making you believe that. So anyways, that's what, waking up, man, huge importance, waking up, seeing the self-doubt, the low self-esteem. It's like, well, at least, it's been people say, like, the 12-step, programs, whatever. Well, you get, at least you're aware of it. At least you're aware of the problem. You can admit it. Okay. That's the first step. You can admit it. And so that's good. That's good to know, With expansion comes, more awareness of the, more, the light, the floaty, blissful states, and waking up to the, to the hell. Reading Dante's the Paradiso. I couldn't get through, the part where he's talking about, hell, the worst devils being the users, being the users and the manipulators, that, worse than actual, like, the actual violent people, who are, obviously, overtly, obviously, doing, doing crime, bad, 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 bad. You can see it, you can name it, you can put them in jail, get them help, put them in jail, whatever. The ones who are below the radar, using, manipulating, people's, love, empathic people, using our compassion, for their narcissistic supply, for their drug, emotional, whatever need, drug, and perpetuating, our whatever, codependent. It's just, yeah. So, anyways, therapy is highly recommended, to move forward, to move through this, with awareness and a lighter attitude. So that's my cosmic laundry message. Really, it's, we're here to I'm here to, to wash small. It's laundry day. Do, hanging up there. I'm looking at my shirts. I'm like, oh, this could be a Tibetan, like a, Tibetan prayer flags. Look at that, different colors, whatever, hanging up out there. So anyway, being aware, staying positive. Not buying the negativity. The ridiculousness in the news. It's just, who was RFK being censored in a censorship hearing. It's like, it's just, I mean, the news has always been kind of a pathetic, ridiculous thing to me, but the heightened ridiculousness of it nowadays, it's just like, okay, it's like someone in the media to say, okay, people, like, are you waking up yet? We're trying to, tell you that we've been lying to you for, decades, but it's up to us to wake up. Anyways, up to us to wake up and listen to how people talk, really, how they talk, their vibe, the humor, going back to Tucker, the humor, the vibe. And I've I've clicked on them, I've watched, Fox, CNN, read, all different, all the different news, outlets, whatever. And he's one of them, Russell Brand, the humor, the intelligence, brilliance. Um, it's refreshing, anyways, to have, and other news channels. It's like, and this happened because, we're so, we've got to keep you feeling negative, and and just, oh God, whatever, and it's, whatever, it's all, it's always, it's always all bad news. And I walked by people before, oh, you watching the good news channel today? It's just being a smartass. And people look at me like, what do you mean it's good? No, it's the news, man. It's the news. It's not good news. It's the news. So anyway, I find my own news. I get all the news I need on the weather report, like Paul Simon says, and whatever song that is. Enjoying another sunshiny day off from work, living in my values. Again, values isn't just for right wing, conservative people anymore. What do you value? I've traded my comfy bed for my sleeper cars over here, and I do well. It's not my puffy comfortable bed that I worked so hard to buy. Not too long ago I threw that out because it's the things we own us, and I've got very little, very few material things, but the things I have are amazing. I'm amazing, and that's amazing to be able to say. Grace of God, grace of nature, you know, feminine receiving energy coming through, open up, receive. This is about, you know, it's beyond self-worth. It's just, it's kind of like, shut up, just kind of like, shut up and receive, shut up and be worthy, um, yeah, you don't crawl before anyone. Don't crawl before anyone, no matter who they are, no matter what authority they may seem to have over you. I have traded in my creativity for, oh gosh, what they're gonna think of me, and father and mother and siblings. It's, oh God, they're gonna think whatever, and yeah, there's some of that. There's some of that in the back of but it's not. It doesn't run my life anymore. Because of waking up gradually. Waking up gradually. Okay, so I've got to wrap it up now. Covered a lot of that's my thing. This is all kinds of sources at once. All kind of coming down to the same thing. Being true to ourselves. Being true with how people make us react. So we've got to, I've had to cut ties. It's been very hard, very very hard, very difficult. You cut ties, but the voices are still in your head, man. Those voices are still talking. What are you doing? And oh gosh, it's you're dumb, idiot, whatever. But again, it's good to be aware of that. A lot of people go through life just being those voices, I wrote something, earlier about, maybe I'll put it up online, silent violence, that's, this narcissistic thing, you know, oh God, it's just, you're driven crazy. You don't know. Yeah. And, you just, anyways, that people don't really love you. They're manipulating you for their own purposes, their own stuff. And yeah, happened to me. And guess what? I get to expand. I get to turn it to steam. Thank you, my teachers. And realize, there's no time. In the infinite universe, there's no time. This is a story. This is a story happening here. A life situation. Infinite God manifests, through all this, nature, the mountains, the grasses, the trees, the bushes, the laundry, the person. Um, this is all infinite God expressing in infinite ways. So yeah, there's no time. So don't worry about your life. I'm 50 or whatever something years old now, and just waking up. So yeah, they didn't love me. They didn't. They couldn't. And I've been like, second chances, and sensing, knowing that somehow, we're all one. All there is love. Second chance for forgiveness is the best thing. Forgiveness and love and all that fuzzy, warm, warm stuff, you put that, oh god, and it just falls on dead ears. It doesn't, there's a natural reciprocity. There's a natural reciprocity. The plants give off their CO2, whatever, the oxygen, we give them the CO2, the sunlight and everything, the rain falls and evaporates and everything is give and take. It's just an obvious, the truth is self-evident. Just pay attention. The truth is simple, it's self-evident. And we complicate it. I've called the world the great complicator, and it's expanding, being aware, just of stillness. And like Eckhart says, there are two movements happening in us. There's when we make a effort to, when we try to not try, meditate, breathe, be alert, attention, gentle awareness. And we're doing that, and there's another force within us, the personality, that's trying to get away from that. That's not comfortable with that. So that's what, I was doing that the other night, saying, yeah, that's huge. That's like, that explains it. Why, there's a, the whatever, the rubber band snaps back, kind of. I don't, it's so just very, very naturally, a few steps forward, couple steps back, a few steps forward, couple steps back, and then in the grand scheme, it doesn't really matter. But in the story, the story, it's like, let's play this story as best we can. Let's play this, you know, okay, I'm a character here, you're a character in this story, whatever, major, supposedly, politicians, whatever out there, characters as well. Let's play this as best we can. I like a good story. I like a good plot twist. There's been a lot of suspense, that's for sure. 2012 was like, oh, someone's going to turn the light on. We're all going to wake up and be in, utopia or something like that. That was a false, obviously. Just like, oh, and years and years and years later, it's like, oh, it didn't, whatever. Starts with the individual, starts here and now. And that's a glorious thing, because we don't have to look to the outside. Alan Watts said that, he's like, it's very, very sad when people put their hope in the future. It's like only suckers put their hope in the future. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's harsh. It's like, I'm always, hopeful about the future. Things, whatever things, change or whatever. But I get it. And he's saying, back to the inside job. It's, he, so, the Hindus, basically, it's like, yeah, as time goes on, things get worse, so let's make the most of it, you know, let's get wise to ourselves. Let's get wise to, the outside world, inside the outside. Have as good a time as we can. Laugh. Keep the comedy, going. Balance. Between the rough stuff and lightening up. So it's good to be aware of. Love and light to all. I got to wrap it up now. Not sure what the time is, but that's okay. Again, yeah, do your do your loads. Small loads, hand washing, simple, low maintenance. And yeah, keep it light, keeping your heart space and love and laughs and just enjoy the moment, enjoy the day. Love to all. Thank